Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to draw a face. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to show you is facial proportions. Facial proportions are basically where everything lies on your face, making sure everything is proportioned, making sure everything is equal to each other. Okay, so before we get started, we do need a head. And heads are normally oval shaped. If you have a problem creating an oval, a tip that I have for you is to start with a circle. And then attach a U at the bottom that connects from the middle of each side of the circle. And so there you have your head shape. You want to map out where your eyes, your nose, and your mouth are. So your eyes are directly in the middle of your head. So to find that spot, you can put your finger on the top of this circle and one finger on the bottom and meet at the middle. This is where your eyes would go. For your nose, your nose is in between, directly in between your eyes and your chin. So put one finger on your chin, one finger on your eye line, meet at the middle. This is where your nose will go. Then you have your mouth, which is a little bit above the middle of your chin and your nose. So you can find the middle in between your nose line and your chin. And then you want to jump up just a little bit because our noses and our mouths are pretty close together. Okay, so you also want to measure the middle so you can section off both halves of the face. And the eyes go right in between each section of your eye line. So they would start right about there. Now there are a few parts to your eyes. You have your top eyelid, you have your bottom eyelid, you have this white area, which is actually your eyeball, and it's actually about that big, but we only see the white part. You also have an iris and a pupil. So we're going to draw all of those. We're going to start with, you can start wherever you want to. I'm going to show you the way that I do it. I start with the top of the eyelid and then move on to the bottom. It's really just a football shape. So think somewhere on the long lines of that. And then just changing it however the direction of your lines go for the eyes that you are looking at. So you should be looking in a mirror reference photo to do this. So mine kind of is diagonal, goes up a little bit, and then does a curve here. Okay. This thing right here is your tear duct, so it's just a little curve. Can you erase? And then the bottom part is more of is just a curve. It's not too crazy. This can be a little bit smaller. There we go. More like that. So there you kind of have the shape of your eye. Then you can move on to the iris, which is where your color would be. And so that's going to be a circle that touches the top but not the bottom eyelid. Okay? And then you can move on to the pupil, which is a circle right in the middle. And there's also a little part that's missing color. It's completely white because we always have a reflection on our eyes. So that's what that is for. So that's kind of your basis of your eye. You can also curve this a little bit just to show the parts of the eyeball if you wanted to. Now I'm going to show you how to do eyelashes. Eyelashes they don't go straight up like this, which is what a lot of people tend to do. They actually curve from underneath your eye and go up. And they're smaller towards the tear duct and larger on the outside. So I'm going to do one layer. And then I'm going to go back in between and do another layer. And then I'm going to go back and do some more. And if you have some that are too big, just erase them. Cut them off a little bit, give them a little haircut. And then the bottom eyelashes are the same, they're just a curve down. Okay. And if you want to even get fancier than that, we have a parallel line. Now, if you have a person with eyeshadow or eyeliner, you can thicken up this line right here. And then I'm going to show you how I would color the iris. So if you had color, you could use more than one color. Like let's say your eyes were green, you could use a light green, a dark green, a brown, a yellow, whatever you wanted. But I would still color it the same way, which would be kind of in a sunburst. So you would do lines going from the pupil out and then from the edge of your iris towards your pupil. That's kind of how most of our eyes are colored. And the outside's pretty dark. And you can even darken up the top just because our eyelid gives us a little shadow there. Another thing you can do is also smudge a little gray into where the white is. That makes things look more realistic as well. Okay. And so after that, I would do my eye socket line, which is just a line that is right above your eyelid, inside your eyelash. And then to draw your eyebrows, you can first look at the shape of the eyebrow. So I'm just looking at the shape of her eyebrows. And then all eyebrow lines are just small flecks like that, almost like grass. Okay? And they're just layered on top of each other. So I just do them pretty quick. And your eyebrows are darker as you go back. They're lighter up front here. Okay, so that's kind of how I would do the eye. The next part is the nose. The nose is going to go right in the middle here. Very simple nose that you can do. Starts with a U shape. Okay. then a down curve on either side, and then a C and a backward C on either side. That's not touching all of that. And then you have the bridge of your nose. Okay? Another way you can do it, and I'm going to do this with a pencil so it might be hard to see, but you can use shapes to guide you. So mapping out the shape of your nose, you'd start with a circle. Okay? Then 2 skinny curves up. This is sort of the bridge of your nose right here. And then you have 2 diagonal lines going out where the curve right here and the circle meet. Then a straight line on either side. Then another diagonal like that. Well, I guess it's more straight. So that's kind of how the shape of the nose is. And then you can look at your own picture and say, okay, well, my nostrils kind of start right here. And they curve down. And then they go back up. And I see a teeny curve right here. And a teeny curve right here. And there's some shading right here. Some shading all the way up. And then you can erase what you don't need. So you're left with just a nose. And that's obviously a little bit more realistic than this one, but it's up to you if you're advanced or a beginner. So the last part is the mouth. Your mouth, everybody's mouth is really just like an M shape, a line, and then a U. And all that makes our lips different is just the shape and the lines, just like everybody else. So think about what direction your lips go in, whichever lips you're drawing. You know, are they big? Are they small? Okay, so the more you look at your picture and actually look and see what direction your lips are going in, direction the lines are going in, you're going to be able to get a more accurate picture. This middle line right here is usually parallel to your top lip. So if it goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, and then you have whatever your shape is for your lips. Okay?